Hello chefs. So I'm going to show you one of my stoves today. So if you've tuned in for a cooking video, I am sorry you will have to go hungry today because this video is about my Boundless Voyage stove. And it's sitting in that black bag you saw there. It's a Boundless Voyage titanium twig stove. Now them two sitting behind it there, that is a titanium one Tigress stove and a titanium Trangia stove. And I've brought my scales out today, so I will give you the weights of all these three stoves. So let's get the Boundless Voyage out of the bag and have a look at it. So it's good, this Boundless Voyage stove. There is quite a lot you can do with it. And it comes in this nice bag. You do get a nice little foot plate that the stove stands on, so it's very stable, this one. That is a little jam jar lid that I keep with it. You get a nice fireproof mat. That does come with one of these stoves, or it came with my one. So the stove is in that little black bag there, and it slides up inside that foot plate bit. I just brush a load of dust off of that. So the stove is in here. And you get a nice little grill with this stove, and you get 4 pot stands. You get that nice grill with it. And there's the stove. And it's a folding stove, this one. So you haven't got to really put it together. You just open it up like that. And then it clips onto the base there. Once it's together on that base, it's really solid, this stove, and really stable, so you can put a massive pot on this thing and it'll take it no problem. So all it does, the feet slide into them little grooves there on the bottom, and then the sides, they got little slots, and you put them in, and then you just push them in and they like lock it on there. So just do the same this side, and that's it, the stove's ready to go. So you can just put this nice little grill on top of it, and it's alright, that grill, for doing like a burger or doing some bacon or something like that. It does work alright. And then there you can see, like, you get 4 pot stands with this one. So you do get quite a lot with this stove, but it is quite expensive, this stove. And there, look, you can see the little bits on the sides there. They just lock in, and then it sucks its air through that big slot at the side. It's got the same the other side. So it's got the nice grill on it. And that's alright, that grill. That's titanium as well, so it's really light, that grill. And I can use it on one Tigress, and I can use it on Trangia if I want to. And it is good for cooking like a burger or a chop or a bit of steak or something like that. But it's no good for frying eggs on, because they all go through the holes. So the pot stands on these just lock into them little grooves there. So they're easy to put on it. So that's it, your pot stands are on. You are ready to load it up with twigs and start cooking. I will light it at the end to show you it going. And I do like this stove. I've had this one a long time. I have used it a lot. It's never warped or anything like that. It goes together easy. So it has been a good stove, this Boundless Voyage. And where it comes with these 4 pot stands, there is a lot you can do with this one without doing like little hacks to it to make it work with like your Trangias and that. Because this one, where it comes with the 4 pot stands, it's all geared up and ready to use with like Trangias and that. So it comes with all the bits you need. And like, if you've got this bigger Trangia, like the old-fashioned military one, you can use it like that. Look, you put your pot stand back on, and that is it. You're ready to go with the old military Trangia. Now, I use that Trangia more than I use the other one. I like that military one for some reason. It's no better than the other one. It does hold a bit more fuel, but I've just had that one donkey's years, so that's why I tend to use it more. So let's say you use it with the other one, but look, you can't use this one like that. It sits down too low, so you have to change it about a little bit to use this smaller Trangia. So I'll take the pot stand off and I'll show you how you change it about, and then you can use it with this smaller Trangia. And all you need to do is move them bits up one slot. So you put them bits in the top slot there, and then it lifts your Trangia up, and then it's in a good place to use that smaller Trangia. Because most of you will have that smaller Trangia. I don't think they make that big one no more. And my one is a proper military one because it has got the 3 crowns stamped on it. And I think that's why I like my old one so much, because it is a proper old-fashioned military one. So that's all you do, look, you just move them 2 pot stands up to the next slot. So you put them in the top slots and then put your pot stand back on, and that's it. You are cooking or making a brew with the smaller Trangia. So this stove is all geared up, ready to use with the Trangias. It comes with all the bits you need straight out of the box. So all you'd need to do is light your Trangia, put your pot on, and there you go. You are Trangia cooking with the Boundless Voyage stove. And the other thing you can do with it, why it is set up like this, I'll show you. And this is why I carry a jam jar lid with it, because I put my jam jar lid in there, and then I can use this one with the old fire gel. And I did used to use it like this with the tablets as well, but in the UK now we are not allowed to use them tablets. They have been banned. But if you live in a country where you're still allowed to use them, this is how you would use them. So you'd put your tablet on that jam jar lid there, and away you go, you are cooking. Or I'd fill it up with fire gel. Fill that little jam jar lid up with fire gel, light it, and I can make a brew or cook something like that. So that's why I always carry a jam jar lid with it, because I do use that fire gel quite a bit. I like it. So why that's set up like that with the bars across there, this is another thing I do. Put the bars through it like that, then my pot sits right down in it, and I only need to have a small fire in there. And the top of the stove is acting like a bit of a windshield for the bottom of the pot, so it works good like that. And you can even take it one step further by moving these down lower, and then you only need to have a tiny little fire in this thing, and then you can boil water or cook whatever you want in your pot or your little cup. And where it's sitting down even lower, it is really protected from the wind. So I use it like this quite a lot. If I'm just cooking something in my pot or boiling water, this is how I'd have it going, because there's no point having a blazing fire going in there if all you want to do is boil some water or make some noodles or do some soup or something. So like that, look, that's really good like that. Little tiny fire in there to boil water in no time. And you can use it with the Trangia like that. Look, you just put your Trangia in the bottom. I use it more like this with the Trangia. Put your Trangia in the bottom, put your pot in there. And there you go, your Trangia is really protected from the wind. Works good like that. That's how I'd use it in my tent. Because if you're using it in the tent and you've got your pot balancing on the top, there's always a chance you could knock it over. But like that, you're never going to knock your pot over. So it's much safer to use it like that. So it's good, this stove. Where it comes with them 4 pot stands, there's just so much you can do with this stove. But like I said, it is a lot more money than the other 2. This is probably 2.5 times the price of a 1 Tigris stove, and probably 3 times the price of that Tom Shoe stove. and it's not 3 times better. Alright, there's more you can do with it. So if you're using Trangias and all that, then yeah, this stove's really good. But if you wanted just a twig stove, if you are only going to use it with twigs, then this is no better than a 1 Tigress or a Tom Shoe. I would say this has the edge over them other two in one way, and that is because it's got that nice base on it. If you want to cook with a really big heavy pot, this one is better for that than the other two, but that's the only place where it outdoes the other two. To actually use as a twig stove, all three of these stoves are really good ones. So let's go to my scales and do the weights. So I'll just change it so it's on grams. There you go, that's set on grams. So let's do the Tom Shoe first. Now this Tom Shoe is the lightest one. It's light as a feather, this Tom Shoe is. And that is with its pot stand and everything. So that's how it is, this Tom Shoe. Look, 205 grams. So it's well light, Tom Shoe is. That's why I carry that one a lot, because it's light as a feather, that Tom Shoe. You don't even know you got that one with you. So 1 Tigress, what does that weigh? 400 grams, and that is with its pot stand and everything. So it's 400 grams 1 Tigress, so it's still not very heavy. And out of these three, that's the one I use the most, 1 Tigress. Not because it's better, I think it's just because it's got that face on it, I just like using it. So let's put Boundless Voyage on there, and that is with all its bits. So it's 573 grams, so it's quite a bit heavier than the other two. Oh no, there's 2 more pot stands to go in there. Let's put it all in there. Right, 590 grams. So that is almost the weight of 3 Tom Shoes. But let's take the grill off of it, because you don't need to carry the grill. If you was trying to go ultralight, you could leave that grill at home. So there you go, 534. But you can lighten this one down even more. If you're going out on a really long hike or something like that and you want to travel ultralight, you can strip this one down and use it bare bones without the base and that I'll show you. So let's just move it off the scales a minute. I'll put it back over here, turn my scales off, and then we'll take the base off of it. So take the pot stands off, and then it just unclips here. You get your fingers in there. You do get a bit dirty doing that. It just unclips, and then you take it off the base. So you can leave the base at home as well. So how much does that base weigh? It's quite heavy, that base, really. So look, the base weighs 208 grams. So that base on its own is heavier than Tom Shoe. So you can leave the base at home and use this stove without it. So how much does the stove go on its own? So I'll put the stove on there, and I'll get the pot stands because you do need them with it. So that's the stove and 4 pot stands, look, 326, and you can use that like that. If you're trying to go ultralight, you can use it like that. I'll put the grill with it as well and show you the weight. So that with the grill, 382. So it's still lighter than a 1 Tigress like that, and you can use it like that, no problem. Look, I'll show you this way first, right? I have used it like this. It's a bit of a hack. You are not meant to use it like this, but it does work. And all you need to carry is that part and 2 pot stands, because you do need a couple of these through it, because it stops it collapsing in on itself. So you just put 2 pot stands in it. And it does work alright like this actually, because you get the hole at the bottom so you can lay big twigs out the front of it. And that's it, like that. You can use that, no problem. I know it's a hack, you are not meant to use it like that, but it does work. And you can just put your cup on the top there, and there you go. You light your fire in the bottom, and away you go with a stripped down ultralight Boundless Voyage. And even if you've got a massive pot, you could just stand it up on them feet there. That works really well. I've done that as well. Big pot, stand it on the feet. And the other thing you can do with it when it's like that is, if you've got the small little gas stove, like my little MSR one in that box, and if you've got the little small gas canister, you can stand it inside that Boundless Voyage and just use the Boundless Voyage as a windshield, because it all fits in there and it's about the right height to like get your cup standing on the gas stove. So you can do this as well, right, with the grill. So you're not meant to do this. This is another one that I've done. I just play around with these stoves. When I'm out camping and that, I think, oh, I wonder if that'll work, so I try it. And I tried this, and it works. So you lock the grill in the bottom there. So you're like using the tabs that would lock the stove onto the base. You are using them to lock the grill in place. And then as long as you put a couple of pot stands through it, holding it all together, the grill cannot fall out. So it's like having a fire grate in the bottom of it. And it does work really well like this. And then you are cutting down, what was it, 208 grams out of your backpack. But I think the other way works just as good. Although sometimes I use it like this, I do use it more. I just use it upside down and I leave the grill at home as well. But like that, look, boom, you're cooking, no problem. And I know that's a right hack, but it does work. So if you wanted to go ultralight, you can do it with this Boundless Voyage. And I just play around with these stoves. That's how I've discovered these things. I love playing around with twig stoves, seeing what you can do with them. There's probably a lot more that I do with this Boundless Voyage that I just haven't thought of today. I've probably done a lot more with it. So let me just take all the pot stands out of it, take the grill back out, and then I shall put it back together properly and we shall fire it up. So let's just take the grill off the bottom and I'll just turn it over quickly and show you what I meant about with your gas stove. See, if you've got it like that and you've got a little gas stove like my MSR one, you put a little tiny gas bottle on it and just stand it inside there. And then this Boundless Voyage really does work well as a windshield for your little gas stove. So let's put it back together properly and then I shall light it up. Because I said I would, and I might as well make myself a brew in it. And I suppose the other thing that makes this stove better than the other two is how easy it goes together, because you just open it up and clip it on the base. But I don't mind putting together them other flat pack ones. I've done them so much, I can whack them together well quick. So it makes no odds for me. But if you're someone who struggles with them flat pack ones, then maybe this one is a better one for you. But probably most of you out there have used them flat pack ones so much you're like me and can just whack them together well quick. So let's put some paper into the Boundless Voyage. And a big cloud has just come over me, so it might rain in a minute. It's weird, look, it stops right where my other stoves are. There's a massive black cloud up there, so it's going to rain right on me, but nowhere else. So let's throw some twigs in there. I don't need to load this thing right up. All I'm going to do is boil some water and make myself a coffee. I won't film that. I shall end the video with this thing alight. So I just put the pot stands back in, and now that's 3 stoves that I've done on the channel and been using. So I might do my little nano stove next maybe, or I've got a UCO grill I might do. So let me just put some water into my pot, and I might as well make myself a nice coffee while the stove's burning. So I'll just pop the lid on, get me lighter, and oh look, Bruce Flea has turned up. He thinks 'cause I'm about to light the stove that I'm about to do some food. Sorry, Cat, I'm only doing a coffee and you can't have none of that.
That's all right, I'll have one of them nice beers.
You're not having one of my beers, Cat. So let me get the lighter, get in now, we fire up Boundless Voyage, and then I shall put my little pot in there and make myself a coffee. And that's what I'm saying, look, if you only want to do a brew or something like that, you only need a few twigs and a tiny little fire in the bottom. Because if you had your pot stands on the top, you need to do a big fire in there to get water boiling. But when it's like that with your cup right down in there, all you need is a tiny little fire. And if you're interested in them other two stoves I showed today, the Tom Shoe and the One Tigress, I have already done videos on them too, and they are on the channel. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and then you can join me again, see what I'm looking at or what I am cooking.